All right, you guys, welcome back to some more Hapymaher. Just got into Saki's route, really exciting. It took me a few episodes to do, but I really like this kind of ending sequence here where he's trying to really like rationalize getting over Maia. Like he still has this anxiety that's kind of holding him back from fully committing to Saki. He really wants to, but it sounds like he's having a little bit of trouble making that decision. So we're gonna see kind of where that goes if he ends up making some progress. I've already seen little signs of Maia showing up since we've kind of started going down this path. I saw something kind of at the onsen, uh, that kind of sweet smell that was appearing, and I don't think they really talked about it. So I think that was supposed to be something you can just notice, or you could either easily, just kind of pass through it. Uh, but we're gonna go ahead and continue on, see where this goes. And thus the eventful winter break came to an end. What kind of things happened from Christmas to New Year's and from New Year's until the opening ceremony, you may ask? There were so many that I couldn't even remember them all. Ah, school. Huh. Yeah, school. Today was the start of a new semester, so I was walking the same familiar path to school with Saki. Although over the past 2 weeks the path had become overgrown with those strangely colored plants I got used to seeing, so the scenery was very different. Plus, Saki was holding onto my arm with a look on her face to someone who knew her well, which could tell was a happy expression. This was the first time we'd ever gone to school with her clinging to me. She used to only ever do that at my apartment. In other words, this was actually a new experience.
兄さん、何をビクビクしているの？
I wonder how other people are going to take this, because I feel like they already had this impression that we were very close, like closer than siblings should be, and now we're being pretty open about it, like more so than ever before. Why are we nervous? I don't know, lots of reasons. Just wonder if this will be the school we know. Judging from our experiences so far, there's no guarantee that our school wouldn't be a military base or ancient ruins or something. So I'm trying to remember, in the other routes, after like we went through New Year's and stuff, didn't we end up getting back to, reality? We weren't in this kind of dream world still. I'm wondering if that's something we're going to get out of soon, or if that's going to kind of play into everything that's going to happen in this route, just because I already know Maia's going to be pretty prevalent. So I'm just kind of waiting for her to show up, you know? I wonder if this is how she's going to do that.
なんとかなるんじゃないかしら。
You say that like it's someone else's problem.
不安がないわけじゃないけど、今からビクビクしても仕方ないでしょ。
It looked like Saki also shared in my anxiety, but was far more pragmatic about it. I was relieved that I wasn't the only one worried, but that didn't really solve anything.
ハスノさんの言う通り、どうせ何か起きるまでわからないんですから。
Yeah, it's true. I also think like the worry, uh, well, how do I put this? The anxiety that we kind of get a sense from Toru's perspective is because we only hardly ever see Toru's perspective. I think the other girls definitely have the anxiety too, maybe about certain situations, but it's kind of hard to get that if we're not like kind of reading their inner voice at the same time, as much as we do Toru's. Said Hirosaka as she walked a short ways behind us, sounding like she didn't care, as usual. Though in the dream's case, it was probably more that she was resigned that whatever happened would happen rather than not caring. Yeah, I think that's definitely the kind of attitude she has. I mean, she is pretty laid back. I wouldn't say that she doesn't have cares in the world. It's just she kind of just goes with the flow. And which, I mean, in a way is kind of a better way to live, in my opinion. Just because you're a little less shocked when, like, big events happen, or, like, things don't go your way. It's better just to kind of experience things as they happen. I only say that because I lived with anxiety for so long, and I still do, of course. But it's gotten a lot better when I stopped, like, just constantly worrying about what could go wrong, right? Alright, hey Saki, here's Saki. How about if we skip school today?
まさかそれが
Hell
あん
yeah,
な
that's
こ
what I'm
と
talking
になっ
about.
てしまうだなんて。そ
What?
の時のトールは思いもしなかったのでした。
Freaking Alice? What? When did you become the narrator? What are you doing suddenly appearing and spouting such nonsense? Even though she hadn't been there before, Alice had appeared like it was perfectly normal. And, okay, I know this is meant kind of as a joke, but I have this theory that like Alice kind of knows a lot more than she lets on to. And like I keep seeing this shit with the blue sky, which I know you guys find so hilarious. I get so mad about it. Because I want to know, okay? I'm just frustrated, I'm curious, and they won't feed into my curiosity enough. Uh, but I wonder, like... So I have this theory that Maia kind of, like, overlooks timelines. Like, she's kind of talked about she erases our memory of things when we don't really, like, make the right decisions to go down a certain path. It reminds me a lot of the Crazy 8 from Haruhi Suzumiya. If you guys ever watched the anime, I think the manga covered it too, but it was a lot shorter in the manga. It was such a big deal because in the anime, there was 8 episodes of practically doing almost the exact same thing, and they animated it differently, like, each episode. But there was a little bit of, like, the plot moved just a little bit each episode, some having more. And it was kind of like this realization of, like, hey, I've been doing the same thing over and over, and I need to, like, make the right decision. I need to find out the right amount of stuff in this loop in order to get to the right one. And they ended up being, like, 15,000 loops. I wonder if something similar is going on here, where we're kind of, like, waiting for us to make the right decisions to reach, like, a conclusive end. And that's going to be what, like, the true end is. But I'm not sure. I wonder if Alice is aware of that, if that's the case. I wonder if Alice kind of knows more, and she's just kind of playing the friend, right? Kind of like how Maia's playing the villain. Anyways, theory aside, he looked at us, noticed Saki clinging to my arm, then put a finger to her chin. Honestly, that sounds kind of like a fun time. I mean, Alice is fun. I would give her that. Smiling Saki radiated in an atmosphere that would make you want to run away if it were aimed at you. Still wearing an annoying expression, Hirosaka quickly and casually moved away from Saki. Jodan, yeah. I feel like you very much would, but okay. Alice gave up easily. She might not have gone to play somewhere. She really might have gone to play somewhere. Saki didn't stop her. It's freaking blue sky. They're teasing me right now, I swear. Ever since the start of the year and when I become a girl, Hirosaka and Club Prez have been staying at the Hosono estate. Eventually they went home because school was about to start, but Alice stayed at Saki's house. She didn't know where she lived, so there was really no way she could get home in the first place. But a little before those two left, Alice would sometimes disappear, and we didn't know where she went. At night, she would be in that room, so we were unable to stay in touch. You're trying to find out about yourself in your own way. I mean, I still kind of hold to my theory that Alice is in a coma. I wouldn't be surprised if Maia maybe is in a similar situation too. I just don't know. Like, maybe she kind of got absorbed by the forest. I wonder if they're going to go, like, a more supernatural way, or, like, how exactly that's going to work. I mean, it's hard to say this is really supernatural because it's a dream. I'm not sure, because they kind of, like, mix reality and dreams, so it's like, would you call that supernatural? I don't know. It's not really like there's superpowers in the real world. It just so happens that the real world is getting mixed with a fantasy world that, you know, a dream, that you can do fantasy-like things. So it's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of a fantasy story. You find anything out? Yeah, because she said many times that she isn't able to remember anything about school, and that makes me wonder if she's even gone to school. Like, Alice, you know, I've said before, kind of has, like, a childlike personality. I wonder if she is kind of like a kid in a, you know, an older woman's body, right? Kind of that situation. Like, this is what she looks like, but she's maybe been in a coma for a long time. So, I mean, she still kind of is growing. uh, it makes you wonder, like, okay, if she's mentally, like, let's just say, like, 10, and then her body is like that of a 20 years old, like, which one is she? Is she 10 or 20, you know? It's not like we can go to the police in this case. I'm gonna end that line of thought, though, because I've had that conversation every time it evolves into something really, like, dumb. Alice was homeless and had amnesia. If she went to the police for a situation like that, it would obviously cause the like commotion. Last couple of weeks, may be wary of doing anything that would disturb the peace.
平坂さんもまだうちに泊まりに来てますし、アリスさんもいてくれて大丈夫ですよ。
Hirasaka, I thought you were going home because school was starting.
友達の家に遊びに行って何がいけないんでしょうか。
Hirasaka said bluntly, averting her eyes from mine. Even though I'd given her a lengthy talk about showing her face at home at least once so that she didn't cause trouble for the house. Hold up, what the heck just happened? I didn't even click anything. Didn't cause trouble with the house and family. She didn't really listen. Hirasaka seemed to feel awkward about it too, since I wanted to believe that she had no intention of causing problems for Saki.
どうしたの、兄さん。
It's nothing. I realized something as I looked at Saki. Perhaps because they were in the same grade, Saki and Hirasaka seemed to be really getting along recently. So, assuming that they're, like, pseudo 15, because they're actually 18, you know, it says at the start of it, you know, when you're loading up, it always says the characters in this are 18, even though they're clearly, like, in high school. I found it really interesting. Like, I've kind of been slowly, like, learning more about, like, Japanese culture, especially, like, playing the visual novels, and you guys kind of pointed out to me sometimes, like, hey, Justin, like, your American viewpoint on this is a little bit skewed because Japan doesn't work like that. And it's hard for me as an American to imagine anywhere else but the great United States of America, right? But I've learned a lot of things. Like, I didn't realize, like, they kind of consider them adults at 15. I didn't really realize that. Because here, it's like, a 15-year-old is still looked down upon like a child. Whereas other countries are like, hey, we're going to start giving you more responsibility earlier, so that when you become an adult, you really feel like an adult. As you get to that age that America would consider you legally an adult, even though you can't do certain things. It's kind of nice that Japan does that, where it's like you're 15, you're starting to grow up, you're starting to make your own decisions. I think it's at 15 that school is not compulsory. So in my opinion, that means they don't have to go, right? They could technically do something else, even though I think that'd be frowned upon. But it's really interesting to me. I've been learning a lot, like, slowly about Japanese culture. Correct me if I said anything wrong, but this is, like, kind of the reason I feel like they do a lot of stories around this age, because it's like, yeah, they kind of are becoming adults. They're learning about adult situations, and they're growing, right? Just, I don't know, I find that interesting. I was happy that Saki had made a new friend that would stay at her house, but I couldn't say that.
ところでアリスさんは本当に何をしに来たんですか？まさか本気で先輩をサボらせようと思って来たんですか？この辺ブラブラしてたら、トールがやけに新規臭い顔してたんで、どうしたのかなーって思って声かけただけだって。だから気晴らしに遊ばないって誘っただけだよ。だけだよ。
Still a little afraid of Saki, Alice offered an excuse. Did I look that down in the dumps?
そうね。いつもの朝と同じ程度にはしてたわ。
In other words, I looked the same as always. I'd only ever met Alice in the stream, so it was rare for her to see how I usually looked in the morning.
トールって普段からこんな調子だっけ？最近はそうでもなかったですけど、朝は確かにこんな感じでしたね。平坂さんって兄さんとそんなに前から知り合いだったっけ？知り合ったのは最近ですけど、蓮野さんのそばにいるのはたまに見てましたから。
Yeah, I mean, Hirasaka, you know, comes off as the kind of person who's pretty observant, kind of keeps to herself, maybe silently judges people. I don't know, I get that impression from her.
ああ、だるそうな顔してる人がいるなって。
A languid-looking person. You're one to talk. Like, Hirasaka kind of acts like she doesn't really care. Like, she kind of just goes with the flow, right? But at the same time, I do think she kind of observes. I definitely think she probably has like it's none of my business kind of attitude, but at the same time, I do think she does like I said, observe things around her, what's going on. Thought Hirosaka could give me a run for my money in the languidness department, although you could say she was just quiet.
だとしてもトールがだるそうなのって明晰夢のせいだよね。最近見てないくせになんで今日もだるそうなのよ。
Well, was it not obvious? Alice and Hirosaka tilted their heads. I figured this would happen, so I kept it polite. Saki cleaned to my arm and Hirosaka walking next to me. Not to mention Alice talking to me in her usual attire, meaning she didn't look like she went to our school, without saying that we attracted some attention since each of the girls stood out even if they were alone. They stood out even more all gathered together in a place like this, and I was the only guy among them. I wasn't used to such attention, so my spirit was low. Plus, we are in this bizarro world now. What would happen if we went to school like this? I feel like this is like Toru's bizarre adventure, right? like we've slowly just turned this whole thing into a JoJo reference. And we just have to accept it, okay? Saki squeezed my arm, she probably understood. I mean, I feel like Toru kind of complains sometimes about the extra attention or whatever. Like, you got a bunch of cute girls around you. What do you have to complain about, okay? And I say this as a married person. I mean, like, just accept it, Toru. You're young. Like, this is every man's, like, dream when you're younger, okay? Like, I'm married. I don't want that now, okay? But, you know, Toru, just let it happen, okay? Learn something from Hirosaka here, okay? What about Elise behaving so we don't stand out? Oh gosh. Oh no. She's just committed to making sure that we have problems. Even Alice knows. Hirosaka looked at me and heaved an annoyed sigh. Then I understood. You could say I had a bad feeling about this. Wait a sec, Saki. Why does Hirosaka look like she knows so much? Don't tell me. No, you don't. That's not necessary, is it? Why do you sound so annoyed? Alice, don't sound so serious. In a completely innocent-looking gesture, Saki happily took my arm, but Alice and Hirosaka looked away as though the scene was just that painful to watch. I mean, hey, like, Saki got everything she wanted, okay? She wanted a relationship with Toru, and now she has it. Obviously, like, for story reasons, there's gonna be a lot more drama to it, but, I mean, this is what she always wanted. I mean, she can't really complain about that. Toru, like, finally, like, kind of returning her affection, right? Completely on Saki's side, aren't you? I mean, yeah, you could make fun of him for, you know, taking a little bit of time to get there, but hey, it was weird to him, okay? There's more to that. He's still not over Maia, in a way. I couldn't deny that. And Alice was quietly and happily watching us. It felt strange. Al? So, I was talking to my wife. I think it was 2 nights ago. And, she was like, oh, but you still look at other girls. So I'm like, no, they're like John Cena to me, you know, like I can't see them. I just know I start hearing a voice, like I'm schizophrenic, and like I know it's a girl talking to me. I tried to pass it off like that, like I never looked at another girl besides you. For some reason, she didn't believe me. I don't know why. That's not what I meant.
アリスさんみたいに見た目もスタイルも兄さんの理想通りじゃなくてひどいトールってばサキちゃんと付き合うようになったのにまだそんなこと言ってるのそんなにおっぱいが好き
Like, he hasn't hardly said anything. How terrible, you're still saying that. He didn't say anything about it. I said nothing of the kind. Exactly! I'm gonna defend you here, Toru. Here, Saka, stop giving me that look. It makes me want to cry. It's great. It's so much fun just getting teased for something we weren't even doing. I mean, I wouldn't say Saki's small. Saki's not in the smaller range here, so it's like, can't really complain about that. Alice just has ridiculously big fantasy boobs, okay? As we talked, Alice followed us to the front of the school. It looked like I was just waltzing to school with 3 girls in tow, so I was all too aware of the stares we were attracting. That's not to say I wouldn't have felt jealous if it were another guy in my position.
よし、それじゃあ私はまた自分探しの旅に戻ろうかな。
Wow, that's like strangely philosophical. Guess I'll return to my journey to find myself, you know? Like she's gonna go meditate on a mountain cliff. You're not wrong, so why do you make it sound so cheesy? Hey, I thought it sounded really nice! Okay.
人は誰も自分を探し求める夢の旅人だからね。
Okay, that one, though, I just find it funny. Because she's really trying here.
単なる前後不覚の記憶喪失なのに言うことは私的なんですね。
I don't know, does she?
ねえ、ケイコ、最近言うことに容赦がなくなってきてないかな。
She's been like that towards me from the beginning, towards Club Press too. Thought maybe that was a sign that Hirosaka had opened up towards us. I don't know. I definitely like agree with Toru here. Like I feel like people that are kind of like closed off, if you can get them to just joke around with you and like put you down, like in a joking way, of course, if they're not just being straight up mean, but if they're like teasing you, like I think that's like the best compliment you could ask for, because that means they do trust you in a way. They have opened up to you. I was kind of that way. Like growing up, there was a lot of people that just thought I was really quiet and shy. It's just because like I didn't really like vibe with them, I guess. Once I found people that like I kind of could joke around, like you know, with my same sense of humor, then I really like opened up. Like people would think I was actually really like talkative. Maybe that's just an introvert thing. I don't know. I didn't say anything, so stop reading my mind. I felt the same way about her, so I knew she really couldn't help it. When I looked at my watch, we were cutting it pretty close. If we didn't head to our classrooms right away, we wouldn't make it. Okay, see you guys later. And Alice, don't do anything too strange.
はいはい、了解。ま、トールには迷惑かけないようにするから大丈夫。何？その疑いの眼差しは。
I have to say it out loud. Alice groaned and shook her head. Oh my gosh, you're so jealous. At least allow me this much. I don't know, I could think of a lot of people who are number one, you know? There's that whole Lazy Town song about it. Yes, Wow, okay, bold Saki. When I least expected it, Saki pulled my head down and kissed me. Whoa, aggressive much. Okay, we're gonna skip over your... Nope, I can still hear it. We're gonna... Ah! I can still hear it. Oh my gosh, it keeps going. I was gonna read the dialogue, but it kept going. Her tongue came in like it was a matter of course. I mean, she was holding back more than usual, but as you'd expect, the people around us started murmuring. Alice went bright red and covered her face with her hands. I could tell she was still picking through the gaps between her fingers. Hirosaka didn't seem alarmed in the slightest. She just watched with her usual level of annoyance. Saki, I don't think it's good to do this sort of thing outside. Stuff like this happened at times when we were alone, so I was able to recover fairly quickly. Wow. Freaking alpha female Saki over here. That's why you did it with so many people around. Saki just smiled. You know, if I had money, I would commission someone to draw Saki doing the T-pose. Like, just asserting dominance in the middle of the school grounds. Like, everyone's just watching her, just like... Muttered Hirosaka. Alice and I were frozen in place. Unfazed by their surroundings, my two underclassmen walked off.
それじゃあ私も行くね。トールも大変かもしれないけど頑張って。
You know, Alice, I appreciate that. Like, that's why you're one of the best characters, because you clearly understand the pain that Toru goes through. Things might be rough and hanging there. It was an irresponsible thing to say, not that Alice had ever been really responsible. With a wave of her hand, she quickly walked off, leaving me all alone. Someone's hand clamped down on my shoulder. I'd like to hear an explanation for you always picking up on other girls. Okay, we're gonna go there. He was squeezing noticeably harder than usual. Don't you have a girlfriend, I thought? Freaking Tetsuya. Tetsuya's such a meme character this whole time. Like, in the dreams, he's always doing some random shit. Like, he's a part of a group for, you know, a bunch of guys that, like, don't have girlfriends. Or the whole thing when, he was doing something during that dream with the vampire attack. I walked to my class with Tetsuya at my side. Classmates who had heard the commotion came running, as well as some other guys from other classes. Thanks to those words from the teacher, the peace was observed for homeroom in our classes. Naturally, the peace dissolved as soon as we were free. As soon as lunch break started, Tetsuya came and caught me in my seat. I didn't know where he got it, or even but he even had a desk lamp ready and was shining it in my face. We're getting investigated. This is like a criminal investigation. Yeah, it's an interrogation. There you go. Not an investigation, an interrogation. From a police drama. Where's the Katsudan? You do get some. It's out of your wallet. Wow. Who's the real criminal here? Making me pay for my own food while you're interrogating me. Yeah, I figured as much. Asahi, save me. He's asking me about other women. Asahi looked understandably baffled. Of course she would. I'm innocent, Asahi. Help me. Ah, no! The way you framed it made her interested. No! Asahi gave me a sincere smile and went to stand behind Tetsuya. There goes my only possible ally. Wait, hey, everyone. What about Tetsuya? He has a cute girlfriend. Thanks, that's all you guys, except for Asahi's opinion. You bastards. That doesn't make it better. Even though it was only guys around me, the girls in the class also looked like they were curious. They were clearly eavesdropping, or rather, they were curious because Saki was very popular in this class, too. Okay, so here's what Toru needs to do. Toru needs to play it off like, yeah, I just, you know, finally realized my feelings. Like, he needs to be a Chad here. Like, I keep wanting him to be like Koga, right? Chad Koga is great in the Leyline series. He would just, you know, hone up to it, and, you know, he always looks good in front of the girls. But then there's Toru, and Toru somehow manages to look like the biggest idiot every single time. Even though I know he's not, he actually is a smart guy. He's very sensible. When he wants to be, he can be kind of romantic. But he just never shows that. He just always plays dumb. And it's like, he's got to get over that, you know? He's just got to embrace that he's in a relationship with Saki and that everyone just needs to deal with it. He just needs to let them know. I was just Saki fooling around and marking yours. Playing dumb. That's what I'm saying. Ayo, Tetsuya's trying to get the class to beat us up. No objections, no objections. Wouldn't that be too soft? No objections. Yo, suck. Too soft. How much worse could it get? So Saki's well-being is important, but not mine. Thanks, Asahi. Something I remembered Asahi when I saw her during the Christmas debacle. I wanted to believe that she had just been twisted by the dream and that her true nature wasn't that scary.
だけど今日は腕組んで投稿してきたらしいじゃないか。
あと他にも美少女が2人いたよな。
No, Hirosaki came with Saki and we just happened to bump into Alice.
今普通に知らない名前出てきたけど、トール君って女の子の友達そんな多かったっけ？
I don't know who handed Toru this shovel that he uses to just dig himself deeper into his grave, but he needs to really just bury it and get out of the hole.
こいつ友達少ないのにな。
I think I'm about to lose one of those friends. Like I kept saying, I don't think it made sense for Tetsuya to get annoyed with me even though he has a
今言っ
girlfriend.
た平坂って恵子ちゃんのことだろ。それともう一人のことはまた今度聞くとして、
You don't have to do it later, they're both my friends.
今の話はさきちゃんの方だよな。
He didn't appear to have registered what I just said. Listen to me, damn it. I mean, please listen. Tetsuya adjusted the light and aimed it at my face. It's blinding.
さあ結局どうしてさきちゃんが急にあんなことするようになったんだ。いえ
It's because we started going out.
誰と誰が？
Me and Saki. Just then a wave of murmurs broke out among the crowd. This whole scenario is so dumb. We're getting interrogated with a light. And he's just like, it's because I am going out with Saki. It's like we just confess to a murder, you know?
そうか、やっとさきちゃんと付き合いだしたんだ。トール君、おめでとう。
See, Asahi is totally on board. We just needed to say that. Like, it's so dumb that we just play around until they finally get out the information we could have just said. It's not that controversial, because we're not actually brother and sister, but I don't think a lot of people at the school know that. So maybe it is a little bit controversial. Who knows? Asahi gave me a carefree smile. I could tell she was genuinely happy for us. But why was everyone else looking at me like this was an unexpected turn of events?
なあ、お前、なんか事情があるとかでさきちゃんと付き合えないんじゃなかったの？
Yeah, I think everyone's just surprised that we actually, were willing to make it official. I thought I did. Couldn't say that I'd been able to hold back when we were alone in the Christmas
しょうがない
night.
よ。さきちゃん可愛いんだし、トール君だってあれだけアタックされたら折れるってば。
いや、そりゃ折れるだろうってのはわかるけど、それまでトールはずっと耐えてたわけだからよ。
Yeah, Tetsuya's over here like, why the hell did you do that?
なんで、なんかよっぽどな事情があるんだろうなとは思ってたんだけどよ。
というかナイト、あの子お前の妹じゃなかったのか？
Ah. So that's why everyone had been murmuring so much. Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. Like, nobody cleared that rumor up.
まさか妹に手を？
This dude's like, damn, I couldn't do that. They didn't know that Saki and I weren't related. No, Saki's not my real sister. This time, the class erupted in noise.
ああ、なんだそれ、なんだそりゃ、どういうわけだよ。
Both the guys and the girls crowded around me. I was relieved to see Tetsuya was protecting Asahi from getting crushed. But I was in no position to be saying that, seeing as I was getting squished myself. We're childhood friends. She just called me Nissan for a long time. I was forcibly made to stand from my seat and ended up practically swimming for the sea of people. What the hell is this, a manga? Not quite. You have such a beautiful girl for a childhood friend. You get off on making girls call you Nissan. There was that one time. Anyways, you called her your sister this whole time. Continue to get pelted by their voices. Wait, help.
ああ、もうみんなダメだよ。
As soon as Aussie said this, everyone stopped moving.
なあ、大丈夫か、トール。
I think so. As I readjusted my glasses, Tetsuya pulled me back to my seat. Why does everyone just listen to Asahi as soon as she says to stop doing something? Is everyone in this class such a simp? Asahi seemed confused that everyone had obeyed her like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're all simps. They're so maidenless that they just have to follow a woman's orders. That's the only time they'll get a woman to talk to them. Maybe the jealousy had caused everyone to return their Christmas club roles. For the time being, I sat back down inside. Tetsuya aimed the light at me again. It's too bright.
で、まあ経緯はともかく、お前、さきちゃんと付き合えるようになったの？
Yeah, during winter break, Tetsuya scratched his head looking awkward.
なんでさきちゃんなの？
Why are you going out with Tetsuya?
いや、それはいい。今は俺たちの話はいい。
He was quick to change the
そうじゃない。
subject.
そうじゃなくてな、トール。俺は別にお前とさきちゃんが付き合いだしたっていうのはだな。今までのさきちゃんの態度見てればやっとかって思うくらいなんだけど。
It was probably true since he and Asahi knew that Saki and I weren't really
お前
siblings.
大丈夫？白羽とこにならんの？
Why would there be? Tetsuya and Asahi looked at each other for some reason.
だってうちのお姉ちゃんがトールくんのとこに泊まりに行ったり。
The crowd came close to erupting again.
どうしたのアサヒ？
Oh
私
no.
の話かしら。
I can't tell if this is gonna make the conversation worse or better. Knowing Yayoi, I think it's gonna make it worse, but I don't know. Maybe she'll be Maybe she'll defend us. A voice rang out from the entrance to the room. The sea of humanity around me parted to reveal Club Perez standing there. It had been a long time since I saw her in honor student mode. Come to think of it, this is how she normally acted in front of people.
お姉ちゃん？まったく。みんなが誤解するかもしれないようなことを言ったらダメでしょ？ごめんなさい。
But the people around us were still confused. Looking at her now, she really looked like a good big sister and kind-hearted senpai. Maybe she knew what I was thinking that because she looked at me and
そ
smiled.
れじゃ内藤くん、ちょっとお話があるんだけど、いいかしら？
Naito-kun. That's funny. That's hilarious. Rumors broke out. Tetsuya, why are you on their side too? Oh, but I promised Saki I'd have lunch with her.
大丈夫よ。先に平坂さんと一緒に準備室で待ってるわ。
Everyone started whispering about how the bloodbath was coming. Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
いいなら。それじゃあ内藤くんは連れて行ってもいいかしら？
どうぞどうぞ。すいません。約束あったみたいなのに捕まえてて。
Tetsuya pushed me towards Cup
ううん
Perez.
きちんと話してあったわけじゃないもの。
It's so disgusting hearing her act like she's just a normal student. Never has any weird thoughts. Is never super aggressive about getting her way or anything, you know? I don't like it. I was memorized by Club Perez's smile. If she had interacted with me like this from the beginning, I probably would have gotten the wrong idea about her, too. Club Perez left the room and I started to follow her.
なんだ。トール、骨は拾ってやる。生きろ。
Be sure to live. Why do you assume I'm gonna die? Then I heard whispers of get out of the way of our love. And why is it always him, or does he really not understand?
トールくん、頑張ってね。内藤くん、行くわよ。
It's pretty bad when Asahi is wishing me luck. Like, what kind of conversation am I about to go have? Unable to answer Asahi, who looked very worried, I went out to the hall. Why did everyone think it was going to be a bloodbath? Who knows? Just one thing I kind of wanted to mention real quick, just because it was on my mind. I really think like this route's been pretty good so far as like feeling like a part of the story, right? A part of like the main overarching story of Hapymaher. I feel like I could have done this one first. I know a lot of people, I think, do Saki's route first. I was recommended to do Yayui's first, which was great. I think I could have done Saki's first as well, and I think it would have been pretty good. I'm just kind of thinking at the route order that it's kind of established. I think like Saki's would have been a good first one. I mean, obviously I haven't completed it yet, so I don't know where it's gonna go, but I think as far as like building up the characters, I think it's really good. So I think this would have made for a a good first route to have done. Or I could have done Yayui's first too, which I did, and I really liked Yayui's, but I think it also could have made like a good like third choice, kind of like how I'm doing Saki's third now. I think Keiko's though was perfect for the second one. I just don't think it was that strong. Like I feel bad saying this because I really liked Keiko as a character. I liked her like probably a lot less after I went through her route, and I feel like I could have just gone without her route completely. There was definitely some moments in it that were, you know, nice, whatever. But as far as the strength of the routes go, I mean, I'm liking this one a lot more for the character building and things like that. I think this one's going pretty well, and I think it just matches so well because I mean, you know, Toru and Saki clearly have a thing. I feel like he's had a little bit of a thing for Club Prez, but like Keiko to me, not really like the best main love interest. Now that I've kind of gone through a route, I'm realizing that she works better as the side character, and not the main love interest. Why is my phone blowing up? But I don't know. I just kind of wanted to voice my my thoughts on that. I think this would have made for a good first route too. Just from what I've seen so far, like the build up, it just really flows natural. Got kind of corny, that's why I'm late. Because I did say this before, but I think Saki probably would have even made. Well, so I know Alice has like the true end. I think Maia would have made a good true end. I think even Saki would have made like a good true end too. Like Saki kind of is clearly the character that we get along with the best. And if we put, you know, Maia in the category of she's our sister, so we shouldn't really get with her kind of deal, I feel like Saki would have been a natural like character to end up with. So I'm really curious to see how this goes. I'll stop talking about maybe wanting to have done the route order differently, but I mean I'm enjoying it right now too. I think this would have just helped me get like more into the characters before going into Yayoi and then and Kiko's routes. Boiling water in a beaker to make instant coffee was something that I hadn't done in a while. I explained why I had been late to the three who had already been here. That's right, 3 more people, Saki, Hirosaka, and Alice. But Alice, why are you here?
ひどい。高原さんの代わりにお弁当届けに来たのに、ブーブー。
Okay, Alice. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna complain about bentos, okay? Bentos are awesome. Alice booed and pouted. If she had come here to deliver them, then why was she staying to eat? Would it be better not to ask that? Why are you so insistent on her not being here? I mean, I know she's not technically supposed to be at the school, not really welcomed, but I think it's perfectly fine. Everyone here knows her. It's not like she's a burden. Next to energetic-looking Alice, Saki, and Hirosaka looked a bit tired. My question is, though, how did Alice even get on the campus? I mean, I'm pretty sure they have, like, security. You can't just walk in the school. They close the gate and everything, so they don't have visitors, per se. Just wandering in. Empress 2 had dropped her act, and she was leaning limply against the back of her chair.
というか、みんな揃ってだるそうな顔してどうしたの？久々の学校がそんなに疲れた？
I'm tired because of what I had just talked about. Not that I didn't see it coming.
私たちも先輩と大体一緒です。まあ、そこまで直接的じゃありませんでしたけど。
今までみんな実の兄弟だと思ってたとか、名字がそもそも違うじゃないの。
いや、あの仲の良さはそう思っておいた方が健全だもの。仕方ないわ。トールとサキちゃんの仲の良さは兄弟としては健全じゃない気がするけどな。
I agree with both Club, Prez, and Alice's opinions, but I didn't want to say anything. I wanted Hirosaka to say something. When she stays silent like that, it made me feel like I was doing something
あ
wrong.
とはトールにサキちゃんみたいな可愛い彼女がいるのは悔しいからみんな目をそらしてたんじゃないの？
What did I do? Yeah, I'm wondering the same
先輩
thing.
にはもったいないと思いますけど。
I mean, I think Saki is good looking, but I don't think Toru per se is bad looking. I mean, is it really that big of a difference between them? It'd be everyone's opinion because they all nodded.
それでルートウィッチ先輩の方は一体何があったんですか？私も可愛がってた後輩に彼女ができてどんな気持ち？どんな気持ち？見た？あれ？弥生って学校じゃ猫かぶってるんじゃなかったっけ？なのにいじられるんだ。猫じゃなくてせめて態度を使い分けてるって言ってちょうだい。まあ私はトールたちみたいにおもちゃにされたんじゃなくて心配されたって感じなんだけど。
But judging by her earlier tone, it sounded like she had been toyed with quite a bit. When Club Press sighed, Alice made a face like she had eaten something bitter.
面倒だね。それっておかわいそうな弥生さんを私たちで慰めてあげなきゃって感じでしょ？そこまでは言わないけど、あと速攻ナンパされたわ。なんだ、久々に学校で猫かぶるのが辛くて疲れたわけじゃなかったんですね。そっちは余裕よ。家かみんなといる時以外は私ずっと会うだもの。すごいよね。私前に駅前で弥生と会った時よく似た別人だと思ったもん。
Why didn't you trick me from the beginning too?
人前にいる時の弥生先輩も兄さんのタイプだものね。
Saki, ow, my hand, it hurts, ow. I had sighed by accident, so Saki pinched my hand
と
hard.
いうか私はもうずっとトールと遊んでるからそんな噂も立つし心配もされるけどなんで稽古までそんな疲れてるのよ。
Like, see, I think like in a scenario like this, it would have been kind of interesting because they don't really give context to why Keiko, why Yayoi was kind of so comfortable with us from the beginning. I mean, we had little bits of, I think, scenes here and there, like towards the start. But I think it would have been nice to kind of have that dialogue and then go into her route, learn everything that we know about her. I feel like that would have flowed a little bit better. I'm not saying I regret what I did. I'm just kind of like making observances. Since I've already done her route, I kind of already know the reason why she let her guard down and things like that.
休みの間に無責任な噂が広まってたんです。平坂さんが兄さんのところで同棲してるとか、そういうのが。
それ無責任っていうか一部事実じゃない？
I don't know, I do wonder if Japan's really this gossipy. Like, I'm willing to bet they are. It's just interesting to me.
それ言ったら弥生もじゃない。
Yeah, Club Press will stay to my room at the end of the year.
噂なんて正直どうでもいいんですけど、ただ蓮野さんに迷惑がかかるのは面倒です。
By the way, what kind of rumors? Water finished boiling, so I passed around everyone's coffee.
それは。
どうやら私が横槍を入れて蓮野さんから先輩を寝取ろうとしていたらしいです。
Wow, okay, everyone just jumping into very dark rumors. Saki hesitated, but Hirosaka said it casually.
それも一部事実じゃない？
Ayo?
それ言ったら弥生もだよね。
確かに兄さんの理性やヘタレ根性がもう少し弱ければ平坂さんより前に弥生先輩とどうにかなってたのかしら。
Oh yeah, there definitely would have been scenarios where I feel like he would have done something with Yayoi a lot earlier, absolutely.
その場合、私とどうにかなる前にさきちゃんが間違いなく押し倒されてたわ。
Right. My self-control definitely would have given out before that happened. I mean, they're confusing him being a little bit more confident with being more, I don't know. I think it's a matter of, like, Chad Koga, and then, like, Tetsuya. Like, Tetsuya is the kind of character I feel like who would give in to something really easily like that. Like, if another girl approached him, he would probably not show as much self-restraint. Maybe if it wasn't Asahi, but you know, like if he was like a single man, I feel like he would have let things happen. But I mean, Toru could have been a more confident person and not done something with Saki. I feel like he has like that kind of moral compass where he's like, okay, I shouldn't do something with Saki. It's not really, it's gonna cause more problems, and you know, I want to respect her and things like that. He kind of has that like moral, you know, sense, but he just kind of, like they said, is a little bit cowardly. Like his explanation, his reasoning for why he doesn't do certain things comes off kind of bad. He could still not want to get involved with her, while at the same time being a little bit more just, you know, confident in who he is as a person and showing that confidence. I feel like he is a little bit confident sometimes, but he just doesn't really show that per se.
トール、そこ自分でうなずくとこじゃないから。
Perhaps because she was the most removed from these circumstances, Alice looked the most level-headed of us all. That felt strange. Because I think the consequences for him doing something with Yayoi versus him doing something with Saki, who was supposed to be his like childhood friend, and you know, they've kind of set boundaries. I feel like there is a lot more boundaries when it comes to Saki. There's a lot more consequences for that, and a lot more reasons not to get involved with her in the next level, you know? Whereas with Yayoi, it would have been a lot more acceptable. I mean, they just kind of know each other from school. They've technically already met before, but I feel like it would have been a lot more acceptable. The club prez, also you seemed a bit worried about you back there. Why is that?
あの子、私が年末トールと一緒にいたのを誤解してるのよ。みんな一緒にいたって言うのに。家族より男と年末年始過ごせば普通は誤解するもんじゃないかと思うんだけど。
I think Alice has a point. Fucking I nodded.
自分をそうやって心配してくれる家族がいるくせに何やってるんですか。人には人の事情があるのよ。 分かったような口聞かないでもらえる？
Oh, giving freaking Keiko some sass. Cobra said lightly as she transferred some of the bento sake that had been prepared onto a small plate. I don't think that was light, but sure. Hirosaka seemed to sense the club prize was different than usual as well. Maybe she knew it wasn't something to touch on so lightly, so she didn't bite back. I was relieved to see that.
どうしたのトール？なんかニヤニヤしてるけど、いやらしいことでも考えてた？
Why does it always have to be something dirty? Don't say things people will misunderstand. I just remembered something stupid a classmate said. He said if Saki and I started going out, it would turn into a bloodbath like it would. Alice gave me a deeply pitying look. What?
いや、確かに修羅場というか、そういうことにはならないけどさ。まあね。トールと付き合うのがサキちゃんなら、ね。
Yeah, I think him dating Saki is probably the most controversial right off the bat. But I think once he clears up some misunderstandings that they're not really, related, that they've been childhood friends, I think it's actually probably the relationship that makes the most sense of all of these. I think it's just probably going to be the most natural one. I mean, who's going to really complain? They're not actually brother and sister, they just like to, maybe refer to each other like that sometimes, but they've been childhood friends, they've known each other, it's not like it's a new thing.
そうですね。ハスノさん相手なら、確かに。
For some reason, Club President Hirosaka glanced at each other. I felt a sudden chill, like I just realized I was standing in a minefield, or on thin ice. If I took a wrong step, would I fall into a freezing lake? No, that couldn't be.
大丈夫よ兄さん。
It will, won't it?
ええ、兄さんが私以外の誰かと付き合うとかそんなことを言い出さない限り何も問題なんて起きないもの。
Yeah, she still gives off the big yandere vibes, that's for sure. Said my girlfriend, childhood friend, pseudo-sister with a sweet smile on her face. If I thought the temperature was below freezing before, now it felt like I'd been plunged into an Arctic Ocean.
何にしても、サキちゃんとトールが付き合うってのは、みんなには結構驚くことだったんじゃないかしら。
I think it was surprising in the sense that they've kind of obviously had something going on, but just have never acted upon it. I think that's what makes it surprising. It's surprising to them because they just haven't been in a relationship already. It's kind of like, well, they should be. Why aren't they? Wouldn't you think I'd eventually end up going out with Saki after being henpecked by her so
そ
long?
れは確かにそうですけど。
ひどいわ。いつだって身も心も兄さんに捧げてもよかったのに。
Gosh, Michiru's coming out.
私をそんな風に見てたなんて。
She didn't really think it was mean. In fact, I think she had me trained pretty well.
トール、
Yeah, she's been grooming you for a while, my guy.
全部自分で思った通りになってるだけじゃない。思った通りって何？なんか気になる。ビビッときた。
I had a bad feeling about this. Hold on, wait a
ト
sec.
ールがサキちゃんに甘かったのなんて迷惑かけてる自覚があった負い目からじゃない。むしろわがまま聞きたかったんでしょ？
Wait, what are you
むしろ
saying?
尻に敷かれたがってたように見えたんだけど。
I don't know what you're talking
ま
about.
あこれからはその辺の負い目もなくなったみたいだし、どうなるのかしら。
Oof, laughed Club Prez, but I could see there was an ulterior meaning behind her words. After Alice listened to that with a serious face and nodded.
つまりトールは責められるのが好きってこと？
I don't like where this implication is going. No, that's not. Whatever, I don't care anymore. Rather than wait for them to develop the matter further, I figured I'd just let it go. Oh, it was just getting good.
夜は立場が逆転するのに。
Oh, Saki hitting us with that. Okay, let's see how they react. I knew that was going to cause a stir. Meanwhile, Keiko's down here just straight face as ever. Coughing rice flew out of Alice and Club Prez's mouth. It wasn't much, but the two of them were coughing. Putting aside like the fact that they call each other, brother, sister, or whatever, I actually think these two have one of like the most I don't know, realistic relationships, I guess. Like, I think it's funny how they kind of just talk about stuff like that. Like, that's something that would actually happen. My wife's done that to me too. Like, just said shit about me, and then like people like are surprised and just freaking dropped my wedding ring. She said stuff like that to like get shit over me, or I'll do the same to her too. That's just what married couples do. Spouses shit on each other, you know? Not literally. Let's just clear that up real quick. Anyways, I think that was so funny how she just got him though right there. Saying that he's kind of like a little bit wimpy during the day. He likes to be kind of told what to do, and then at night he takes control. Saki?
あれだけ意地悪されてるんだもん。そのくらい言ってもいいんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, this is healthy. Like, this is what couples do. They tease each other, you know, they kind of get the upper hand. It's just fun. That's how you, like, I don't know, build a relationship. At least in my experience, you know? Like, that's kind of how I got with my wife. Like, I kind of just would almost make fun of her, like, in a positive... I don't know how you do that, but, like, I would kind of tease her or, like, roast her. Let's say that. I don't know. And it worked out for me, so... This is sort of revenge. I mean, that's true. I got carried away at night, but...
分かってはいたけど、やっぱりトールとサキちゃんってそういうことしてるのよね。
Alice expressed her excitement and interest in such an oblivious way that you could almost hear her heart pounding. Just like it was eating in silence, apparently not disturbed in the least. Well, yeah, doing it or being made to do it or allowed to do it.
させてあげたというよりそう誘ったっていうのが正しいかしら。
Oh yeah, you've been wanting him to for a while. I wouldn't even say you invited. You, like, were trying to get him to do it. Very, very eagerly.
サキちゃんから誘わせたとか。年上の解消ないわね。
I mean, haven't we already discussed this? We knew that he has no guts. Leave me alone. If that hadn't happened, I would have gotten together with Saki in the first place.
それで大丈夫なんですか？
What do you mean? There are too many things I could refer to, and also too many of them were hard to answer, so I wanted her to clarify the question
アスナ
first.
さんと恋人になったのはお家の方は知っているんですか？
I'm afraid.
知ってるけど、兄さんは逃げ回ってるのよ。
Yeah, I don't even know what Takahara-san thinks about that. Like I said casually, as the remaining three threw me accusatory looks.
男らしくない。なんで逃げてるの？
Hey, you stayed at Saki's house, so you should understand. Have you not seen her family? As much as Hasuna's security was loved by the local community, they honestly seemed
サ
kinda...
キちゃんのご両親は何か言ってるの？
トールちゃんが来るつもりになったらいつでも来なさいって。
つまり先輩は今その猶予に甘えているわけですね。
I actually think they'll probably be the most accepting. I think Takahara, maybe not so much. I actually wonder if Takahara is going to be nicer to us now that we're in a relationship with her. Only because now she'll, like, see commitment from us. I'm wondering if part of the resentment towards us was just because we never really committed to Saki for so long, and he just thought maybe we were going to take advantage of her rather than, you know, actually, like, making a relationship happen. But I also know that she doesn't really see us as, like, the best influence, I guess, in a way. So I wonder if any of that will change now that we've kind of committed to her and are, like, trying to make more of a serious relationship happen. That was because, well, I couldn't think of any number of reasons, but they were just excuses. It didn't change the fact that in the end, I was just running away because I was a coward. Saki set her mug down on the table.
じゃあ兄さん、今日も泊まりに行くから。
Why do you try to corner me like
だ
that?
って兄さんが追い詰めなきゃいつまで経っても逃げるでしょ。
Yeah, it's kind of scary that she says that, because I feel like Maia kind of does the same thing, where she kind of puts Toru in these situations like he can't really run away from. Because, you know, whether he literally can't run away from it, like, you know, trapping him in a dream where you have to do something to get out of it. Or just, like, emotionally trapping him where he can't, like, let it go. Like, he can't reason his way out. Unless he does the right thing.
ああ、トールってそういうところあるわよね。追い込まれるまで本気にならないというか。
Yeah, see, I mean, I feel like all the girls kind of know that too, which I feel bad because Toru just doesn't get it.
考える時間を与えなければ結構テキパキ動くんですけどね。
Yeah, he can be reliable. Just not when you're trying to convince him to do something. He has to be, like, kind of forced to do it. Why did Hirosaka have me analyzed to that extent? Do girls really pay such close attention to the people around them?
まあ、お父さんたちも 今さら私が兄さんと何もしてないなんて思ってないだろうから、大した追い込みにはならないと思うけど。
I said to go to the Hosono house to greet your parents right away. Would this conversation be over?
そんなの関係なく泊まりに行くわよ。
Still?
好きな人のそばにいたいと思うのに、理由がわざわざ必要なの。
This is where you make the Chad move and say, actually, I'm going to stay over at your place tonight. You flip it around on her, you be the one in control. Because you're going to her house. That's what he should do, but, you know, I digress. Wasn't fair. It really wasn't fair that Saki would look straight at me at times like this. Everyone gazed at me as I see heaved a
な
sigh.
るほど。これが年貢の納め時っていうやつだね。
Yeah, I feel so bad for Toru, you know, having a girl that, like, is loyal to him, loves only him, you know. I feel so bad for you, my guy. Like, that must suck. I mean, that's pretty much what marriage is, at least a good one. I mean, I would know. So, I do have a pretty great wife, all things considered. That's about right. I can't complain. Now, her on the other hand, she can complain about me because I'm sitting here looking at other girls. I'm out here analyzing these other girls, like their emotions and things like that, and trying to figure out how to get with it. Like, that's the whole point of this. She has reasons to despise me, I guess. Going back to my first question, why are you here, Alice? Finished lunch and sipped our after meal coffee.
ねえトール、そうやって現実から目をそらすのってどうかしら。
That's all we've done for like how many years now? We've avoided reality. We've actually like have been back in reality more than ever.
そういうここは現実なんでしょうか。
Yeah, that's a good question too. We technically are avoiding reality right now.
今自分たちが立ってるところが戦場なのよ。
Hell yeah. I mean, that's actually a good way to say it. We're standing on a battlefield right now. I mean, we kind of are. It is a dream. You seem to be saying something good, but to me it sounded like she was sending a soldier to his death.
それで、トールはなんでそんなに辛そうな顔をしてるの？
Because half the time we've been doing these routes, it's just us getting harassed. To be honest, I don't want to go back to my classroom. I don't want them to get all worked up like before with their playing detective and all.
そんなの気にしないで堂々としてればいいじゃない。
Why is it so easy for you?
うーん
Because everyone else likes
こういう
her?
騒ぎに巻き込まれるのって結局男の子だからじゃないかな。
I also think part of it is that Toru gives a reaction. I think that's why people like teasing certain people, and that's why I used to tease my wife all the time. I've definitely done it a lot less, but I still do it. They just give a reaction, and it's funny. Like, if someone, like, kind of reacts when you say something stupid, you're gonna say something stupid more often, because it's entertaining. I feel like Toru is definitely someone who gives a reaction when he's teased, or when he's, I don't know, has shit brought up, and then he just doesn't know how to react. All said as she finished her coffee like it was matter of fact. Maybe when I go back to the classroom, everything will have calmed
そ
down.
うだったらどれだけ素敵かしらね。
Seriously doubted that would happen. Yeah, I doubt that too. I didn't want to go back, but I had to, so I trudged back to the
おお
classroom.
トール、無事だったのか。
Yeah, I'm still in one piece. I didn't know what Tetsuya had been worried about, but nothing bad happened, and it would have been strange for what I had been worried about to happen anyways. But regardless, the classroom felt restless, and that made me feel awkward until school let out. I wonder what exactly he was worried would happen. I don't think it was the same as everybody else. I wonder what he means by that. No idea. Well, that's it for today. I stretched as usual. I was tired from thinking all day and night. But lately that went for the others too, not just me, so I was a little worried. I'm used to it, but it was noisy in the hallway when I looked over wondering what was going on. The half-open door slid completely open and people I didn't recognize started flooding in the classroom. Well, what? Naturally, this was also surprising my classmates. The teacher had just left and there were still quite a few people in the classroom. A few of those intruders had on armbands and walked straight towards me. I had a bad feeling about this.
新聞放送部です。内藤徹さんですね。取材に来ました。
Wow, apparently we made the school news. Go away. I had a bad premonition, so I heard they grabbed my bag and stood up.
そんな。せめて噂の真相だけでも。
That sounds like a certain character from Leyline. I think I know who it is. She looks like a certain Haruhi Suzumiya. Let me go.
いいんですか？校内に流れてる無責任な噂をほっといて、ここでほらきちんと答えてくれれば。
All I'm imagining is her.
私たちがきちんとした報道をさせていただきますとも。
Spread the truth of the situation. One of the newspaper club members said proudly and shoved her voice recorder into my face. Her shining smile seemed to be more about the joy of finding a juicy scoop rather than the accuracy of the news. What rumors would those be? I mean, that's literally every news nowadays. Like, every news station will do that. Finding a juicy scoop rather than the accuracy of it. They don't care. They don't care if it's true. They're just going to report on it. Because like, if you're going to listen to it, then they're going to report on it. They just care about money. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. What rumors would those be?
兄弟の禁断の愛について一言。
Oh my gosh. Goodbye. There we go. That was the best answer you could have gave. I love it. Pushed the people who came to interview me out of the way and left the classroom. I mean, to be fair, he could have just cleared that up. Like, hey, we're not actually... He could have just said the same thing he told the class. I didn't want to deal with the newspaper club anymore. I mean, I admit that he shouldn't, like, get involved with them, because the more information he gives, the more questions they're going to ask, but...
そんなこと言うと、あることないこと面白おかしく想像で書いちゃうぞ。
That's what the news already does. You're just no different than any other news channel. Hell with journalistic integrity, right? That's not been a thing for years. Turned around without thinking as she shoved her quarter in my face. The almost fanatical smile on her face was unchanged. Like, you go watch the news nowadays, it just depends on what channel you put on. They'll spin it however they want, and they'll fit it to whatever narrative they want. They love to play sides. They love to pit people against each other. It's a bunch of junk. It really, really is. Almost fanatical face.
では、実際の関係は？やっぱり兄と妹で禁断の関係に踏み込んだっていうのは本当なんですか？
To the fact he ventured into a forbidden relationship with brother and sister. Maybe I should just scold them just as I thought that.
やっぱり禁断の関係に足を踏み入れていたのか。
A group of guys with bloodshot eyes were glaring at me, and I recognized them. That's not true. In fact, Saki and I aren't.
問答無用。リアルが充実してるやつはみんなすべからく俺たちの敵だ。
Oh gosh.
そう、我だ。
They're coming back.
クリスマスは中止
Oh my
になりま
gosh,
したのかいのな。
Why? Why do we have to deal with this stupid club again? Dream is over already. The Christmas club attacked with brooms and mops like a mob in a movie. Be careful, besides, I'm not even the one who said that.
問答無用。くそ、さきちゃんかわいいよな。
そうだそうだ。だいたいさきちゃんだけでなくて、弥生さんや恵子ちゃんまではべらせやがって。あともう一人も誰なんだ。
Now you're back too. Even Tetsuya returned to being a Christmas club member was attacking me. Can we be over this stupid Christmas club? I hate everything about it. They're so
おっ
dumb.
と、降って湧いたような大惨事。これは取材のしがいがあります。一体正しいのはどちらなのか。
Shut up, Kurodani.
勝った方が正義だ。というわけでないと覚悟しろ。
Why does that sound like we're about to get in the ring and fight? You guys suck. I blocked one of their mops with a mop that then immediately lying at my feet. I went flying backwards. I threw my mop into the crowd of students who had been watching from a distance and ran at the
逃げた
entrance.
ぞ。おえ。
Ah, you'll pay for this, Tetsuya. I couldn't do anything when I was outnumbered. I left Tetsuya with that parting remark and ran away. I thought we were over with the Christmas dreams. Sneakily changed shoes and went outside. There had been someone keeping watch of the shoe locker, so unfortunately I had no choice but to retire them for the day. It wasn't their fault for being
姉
there.
さん、遅かったのね。どうしたの？
Because our classmates are dumb. Well, it's not even our classmates, it's the other people in the school. They're dumb. At least our classmates listen to reason. Ran inside of me with my hands to my knees, panting, was confusing to Saki. Saki, we have to hurry, and
早く？なんで？
Saki tilted her head.
いたぞ。妹とイチャイチャしてやがる。
He's fighting with his little sister.
よし逃がすな。捕まえろ。
Freaking Tetsuya's leading the charge, too. I hate it. People pouring out from different sections of the school were all running at me. Come on. I grabbed Saki's hand and started running.
兄さん、あれ、もしかして。
They're the guys from Christmas. I was half hoping that Asuya would show up and stop them all at once like she did back then. For now, we have to get away. I wonder if I can get away that easily. For a moment, I thought I heard someone's voice. I almost stopped when...
新聞部です噂の真相を
Newspaper glove jumped out of the bushes and Saki immediately fired a bullet at their feet. Saki brought a gun.
なんでかしらつい警戒しないとならない気がして
What? I thought we were out of the silliness of the dreams. I mean, I knew we were still in a dream, but apparently we're not over that. She had only phased one of them. The sheer number of pursuers appeared from behind made me want to scream. How many of them are there? There are more than an entire class worth of people coming after me. Something about it made me feel like a new dream had already started. Maybe it's because of that voice I had heard.
兄さんしっかりして
What voice was... What are you talking about? Because I don't think that was the voice. Saki's voice brought me to my senses. Was that supposed to be Maia? I didn't hear Maia, though. Should I have gone back and, like... Okay, so we're talking about running... Hold up, no. Hold up, we're gonna go back to this one. Nope, I don't hear a voice. Frick.
噂のし
なんでかしらつい警戒しないとならない兄さんしっかりして
Saki's voice brought me to my senses. Come on. I didn't know what would happen to us if we were caught. I grabbed Saki's hand and started running. Pursuers in school uniforms ran after us. I remembered a game of tag involving dozens of people I'd seen on TV a long
な
time
んで
ago.
こんなことになってるのかしら
I don't know, we broke, like, the laws of casualty. Like, the whole universe as we know it is just collapsing. That's what I want to know. At any rate, nothing good would happen if we were caught. I ran away as fast as I could. We're breaking everything, guys. It's all going to hell. It's all going downhill. We should be safe now. After grabbing Saki's hand and running away from the school, I finally managed to bring us this far. Even though it was winter, I was sweating. Wiped my brow and turned around. No one was following us.
兄さん手痛いんだけど
Oh, sorry. I let go of Saki's hand only to see that her fingertips were a little white, probably from how tightly I'd been squeezing her hand. Saki didn't look at me as she rubbed her hand. I was unable to look directly at Saki either. On the way here, that voice I had heard and that figure I'd glimpsed in the crowd, I couldn't help but wonder about them.
ねえ兄さん
I'm just wondering if that was Maia. They didn't give any indication that it was her, though. Normally, it's very obvious when he's talking about Maia, but... What is it, Saki? I didn't know if Saki had noticed or not, but she was avoiding my gaze.
うんなんでもないわ
Oh. It wasn't nothing, but I couldn't say that was on my mind. Well, now what? We were on a crowded shopping street after New Year's, so we could hang out for a while if we
どう
wanted.
って何か予定でもあるの
Not in particular, but you said you were coming to my apartment today, didn't you? We have to figure out what to eat and what to do tomorrow.
それなら今日はやめておくわ
You said this so casually, I almost nodded automatically in response. Huh? Really?
何さっきお昼に泊まっていってほしくないみたいなこと言ってたくせに
I did, but I fully expected her to come over, so it's something of a surprise. Maybe I looked disappointed because Saki looked at me and smiled helplessly.
ごめんなさい期待させちゃったかしら
Yeah, seems like it. She'd probably know if I tried to act tough and it would just make her mad, so I replied honestly.
ならその埋め合わせはそうね用事が片付いたらしてあげるわ
For some reason, that something caught my
今日
attention.
はその用事があったことを思い出したのやっぱり後回しにしてちゃダメね
Okay, putting it off. Saki, you can't mean.
まさか何大丈夫兄さんが心配することじゃないわ
She's talking about buying him the glasses, right? Am I understanding this correctly? She didn't say it had nothing to do with me. In fact, it was something I'd normally be worried about. Is it really okay?
あらそんな真面目な顔されるとたまらないんだけど
You don't need to look so happy about
じ
it.
ゃあこれからうちに行くきっとトールちゃんから大事な話があるって言えばお父さんもすぐに時間を作ってくれるわ
That's not the thing you needed to do, is it?
ええだけど心配されたからつい
Saki giggled, but it seemed fake to me. Okay, I'll go.
あらそのなんで急にそんな前向きになってるのよ普段の兄さんはもっと情けないじゃない
Real and true. I can't help but worry when you make that face. I tried to pet her head, but just before my fingers touched her, she moved out of the way. I don't know, my wife thinks it's weird that I do that to my daughter. Like, I'll, like, pet her head or I'll, like, rub it like that. I'm like, isn't that just a normal thing to do? Like, don't parents just kind of do that to their children? It's not like I'm picking that up from, like, the anime thing where it's, like, the protagonist, like, ruffles their hair or whatever and says, like, Yoshi Yosh or something like that. Like, it's fine, it's okay, whatever.
ダメ。そんなことされたら、また先延ばしにしちゃうわ。
Saki put a finger to my
するこ
lips.
とをしたら、そしたら今度こそお父さんたちに会ってもらおうかしら。
Alright.
なんてね。
No way my relationship with Saki could just stay the way it was now. I knew that we had crossed the line in our relationship, so we couldn't stop now. Should I at least take you home?
大丈夫。今日は一人で帰るわ。寂しいと思う気持ちを忘れたら、きっと立ち向かえないから。
Saki? Couldn't hear Saki's voice very well in the noise of the
それじゃ
crowd.
あ兄さん、また明日。
I don't know. The way she's saying this, I thought it was going to be about the glasses. But I don't know. The way she's saying this makes it sound like it's something bigger than that. I forget this lonely feeling that I won't be able to go through with it. Okay. He turned around and looked away from
いい
me.
夢を見られるようにしないとね。
That's implying something bigger. What do you mean you're gonna make it so you have pleasant dreams? You're gonna do something with Maia? She murmured. I reached for her, but she had quickly moved away. I wasn't concerned enough about it to go after her, so I just watched as she walked away. Is that not bringing up red flags to you, Taru? That seemed like something big was about to go down. Today, I dreamed again of coming to this room. Doors closed behind me as usual. Now I couldn't leave this room until I woke up.
だけど、今日は思った通りにできたのかしら。
I had a premonition. No, I'd wished for it to be true. Maybe it was thanks to that I was the only one in this room tonight. Nissan wasn't on the sofa we always sat on. Okay, we're getting a little bit of her perspective. Okay. What exactly did she have in mind? I knew it had something to do with Maia or this room or the whole dream itself. Nissan wasn't on the sofa we always sat on. Okay, I think I understand what she's trying to do. She's trying to wrap up the whole dream thing because she wants to be able to introduce Toru in reality, right? Like, let's not do it in this dream kind of thing. Let's get you real glasses. We know it's not a dream. That way you can have some confidence. You won't have these bad dreams anymore. Okay, I kind of see where this might be going. Alice-san wasn't sitting on the other side of the table with her arms around her knees, and Yayoi-senpai wasn't leaning against the table as she usually did. Yosaka-san wasn't sitting a ways away from her guitar at her side. Her guitar wasn't there either. As always, they were steaming teapots, pastries, and cakes that were endlessly replenished no matter how much you ate. The room was always filled with a sweet scent and made me think of a dream confectionery kitchen. That smell wasn't going to tempt me into eating tonight. I didn't come here to chat with the others.
ねえ、いるんでしょ？
Uh-oh, we're about to get into it.
マヤちゃん。
Wasn't guessing, I was certain as I called out that name. My fingers were trembling as they grazed the edge of the table. If I had been holding a teacup, it would have been clattering. If Nissan had been there, I would have wanted to cling to him. But I left him behind, so I had to endure it on my own. I almost murmured Nissan when...
やっと呼んでくれたわね、さきちゃん。
Ooh, it's getting good. I want to know how this conversation goes. Didn't keep me waiting. Maya-chan suddenly appeared in the room as if she had always been there. I like the moments more when Maya-chan is called to us rather than us, you know, just kind of encountering her. I mean, those can be really good too, don't get me wrong. But I like these moments where we're, like, coming to her, because I think she's waiting for that. Like, I think she wants us to keep, you know, trying to summon her and getting answers. I think she likes playing around with us, because she gives us enough that keeps you interested in what she has to say. And you realize, like, in a way, you kind of need her, right? At the same time, she doesn't give you enough to quite figure out what's truly going on. I think she's just a great character in a lot of ways. I don't know. Like overall in Hapymaher so far, there's a lot of stuff I would have cut down. I would have streamlined it, I guess. I think there's a lot of stuff they could have just made a little bit quicker. But I do like this overarching thing with Maia always being there, no matter which one we're in. It always feels like she's a part of every route. I think she was there the whole time.
だけどまさかサキちゃんが私を呼ぶだなんて。お兄ちゃんじゃないのに夢をこんな風に扱うとは思ってなかったわ。
兄さんがやっていたのを見てればこのくらいはできるわ。
Yayoi Senpai and Alice-san could do it as well, and not just Nissan. I should be able to do it too, as long as I was strong enough. There's no reason I couldn't do it. I don't know, I think Saki's going to end up having a lot of character development in her route. I actually think that's going to be something that's kind of crucial too, because I think Saki always comes off as confident. I wonder if she's going to be humbled a little bit. I feel like she just kind of pulls out a gun and, you know, calls it good, right? I wonder if there's going to be a situation where she can't just pull out a gun, she can't just fight her way through it, she's got to face it head on. I wonder if she'll still have that same level of confidence.
なるほど。ずいぶんサキちゃんも慣れたのかしら。うん。
It's always Maia giggled in a way that made it look like she was planning
お兄
something.
ちゃんとエッチしたから身も心も近づいたのかしらね。
Yeah, I definitely think sex is a very much like a bonding activity, right?
知ってるんだ。
ええ。今までのことも、あとはこれからのことも少しだけ。
I'm aware of what's happened and a little of what will happen.
これから
Ominous.
それどういう意味？
夢の世界だもの。これがどんな夢なのか、それが分かればこれからのことで分かることもあるわ。
Yeah, I think though dreams are the kind of thing that are very unexpected. Like if you know what kind of dream it is, I guess sure you can see where it goes, but dreams to me have always been something that like kind of always go in a direction you never expected it to. There's always been some element to a dream that would never actually happen, right? And that's what makes it unpredictable.
今までのことだってきっとお兄ちゃんのことに関してなら誰よりもよく分かってるわ。間違いなくサキちゃんよりも。
I think Maia is very much a person that humbles people, but I wonder if we're gonna see her get humbled more. I think the first time I really saw her get humbled was during Yayui's route. I think that was so badass. Like I loved everything about that CG with Yayui just like holding her in her arms like that. I think that was probably one of the most biggest moments that we've had so far. I think that was just something that maybe Maia maybe saw coming, but I don't know. Maybe at the same time didn't.
そう。
I don't know. I'm hoping for more moments like that.
兄さんの目を通して今までのことを見ているのね。
きっとそう。私に見えるのはほとんどがそんな世界。うん、そうなんだわ。
Maya-chan looked a little lonely as she said this.
私が見ているものは私だけのものじゃないのよね。
私とは見ているものが違うの？
ええ。だからきっとサキちゃんのことを一番よく見ているのはお兄ちゃんよ。安心した？
どうかしら。兄さんって私のこと分かったようなふりして本当はそんなに分かってないと思うから。
He pretends to understand me, but I don't think he really does.
それはサキちゃんが素直じゃないのがいけないのよ。
Wow, okay, she's saying that Saki's not the one being honest, when I think Saki's pretty honest with her feelings. She's always talking about how she wants Toru to do things. I wonder what exactly she's hiding. I mean, it's not a surprise that she's hiding things. I mean, everybody does, right?
だって
If I stayed honest, I wouldn't have been able to take Maia-chan's place to become Nissan's sister. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a really good point. She was lying the whole time. She was pretending to replace somebody that she couldn't. I had to do it this way, so.
そういえばそのお兄ちゃんは そろフラッと来るかなって思ったんだけど。
さあ、今日は来ないんじゃないかしら。
I can hear it in Saki's voice that she's kind of losing this confidence that she always has. It's not usual for her. I think this is kind of what's gonna make Saki's route really good. We always go from Toru's perspective, right? Toru obviously has a really hard time getting over Maia. He's trying to comprehend what happened, and we still don't really even know. He can't really comprehend it all until he really finds out the truth. So he's been trying to deal with Maia being back in his life, and I think that's a really hard thing. He obviously still misses her. He still wishes that she was never lost and still part of their lives. But now we're getting to see Saki's side, and that's something I don't think I've really comprehended until now. Like, how interesting that's going to be. Because Saki lost somebody maybe not equally as important, but definitely up there. I mean, because obviously Maia's not her sister, but Maia was a big part of her life. They were a trio, right? This is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of how this dynamic's going to go now. I'm now realizing how interesting this is going to be. I knew there was going to be a lot of involvement with Maia, and it was cool just because Maia's going to be involved, right? But now I'm like, oh, their relationship between these two, we're going to see that, where exactly that's going to end up here. Okay, I'm just gonna keep shut because I'm just talking, but okay, we're just gonna keep going. I'm just excited, okay? No good, my hands were shaking, but I had to keep it together. I couldn't let Nissan, Toru-chan, push himself anymore. No, it wasn't just Toru-chan.
まあいいわ。それで、さきちゃん、私に何のご用かしら？
お別れをしに来たの。
That's right, it wasn't just Toru-chan. I, too, almost certainly lingered over Maia-chan. In that dark forest, that place where Toru-chan and Maia-chan parted ways, a place I knew nothing about. Toru-chan had said goodbye to Maia-chan there. But what about me?
お別れ？
ええ、そう。お別れ。そういえば、私はマイアちゃんときちんとしてなかったなと思って。
That's right, I hadn't said goodbye to Maia-chan. Because I've had Toru-chan next to me, who lingered over Maia-chan more than anyone. I've been able to stay calm. The feeling of maintaining my calm because there was someone else who was panicking. I just accept it. But even I wondered if Maia-chan might someday come out of that forest. I think this is dangerous because holding on to this idea that she's just going to come back home one day, I think is what gets him into trouble. I think that's what allows Maia to continue to appear. And I just don't understand fully yet why exactly she couldn't come out of the forest. I don't know that whole story, right? Like, we haven't really gotten to that point. So I can only talk from, like, my limited knowledge. But I think them continuing to hold on in these kind of, like, side routes, right? Where we haven't really gotten to a true end, I think is what allows Maia to have so much power over them. Because they're just waiting for her to come back. But she's like, what do you mean? I'm right here.
だから、マイアちゃん、お別れしましょう。
When I said this, I had a feeling that I couldn't turn back now. Maia-chan lifted the corners of her mouth slightly.
さきちゃんにできるかしら？
できるわ。今日はそのために来たんだもの。
ふん。なら本当にできるか見せてもらおうかしら。
I feel like we just in a way challenged Maia, and we're gonna really see some things happen. Maia-chan said happily before snapping her fingers like Toru-chan. Just then the world spun around. Uh-oh. Not good. I was coming to wake Toru-chan up like always. Still in the dream.
トールちゃん、早く出ないとまた勝手に扉開けるわよ。
I wonder, are we just gonna get like a whole dream sequence through her eyes? Is that what's gonna happen here? Spoken to the intercom, but there's no answer. In fact, there's no sign of anyone at all. I'm assuming what just happened is we're now in a dream. In a dream, if you want to call it that.
しょうがないな。
So this is gonna be a dream that, to Maia, maybe she already knows how it ends. Pulled out the key to Toru-chan's apartment that Dad had given me. Even if I was the landlord's daughter and Toru-chan's friend, it wasn't good to unlock the door and enter without permission. I understood that, but...
しょうがないじゃない。トールちゃんが悪いんだから。
He didn't get up soon, he would be late, plus there's the issue of breakfast. There was a bigger issue at hand, and I was nipping in the bud, so he should thank me. Yeah. Decided to open the door. Open and quickly checked the shoes at the entrance.
またなのね。
My head hurt. Putting my hand to my head, I laid my bag on the floor like always and approached the bed. It was a really big bed, far too big for just one person. We had bought it from someone in the company, but there were two lumps under the futons in the bed. I decided to grab the edge of the
二
futon,
人とも起きなさい。
tore the futon off with all my strength. Who was it gonna be? Even though the futon had been torn off, Toru-chan still looked half asleep as he hugged his body pillow.
おはよう、さきちゃん。
Okay, not the person I was expecting. The body pillow was Maia-chan who greeted me in her lackadaisical tone as
と
usual.
りあえず離れなさい。
Like always, I peeled Toru-chan away from Maia-chan. Although I was used to it by now, this wasn't the type of thing a person should get used to. But it happened enough that I just dealt with it. I sighed and looked down at the two of them. Okay, now is this bending reality or is this a memory from the past? I'm assuming this is the
さき
current.
ちゃんってば、毎朝毎朝よく飽きないわね。
Okay. Interesting. So she's gonna mess with Saki here by pretending that, oh, everything was always the same, right? This is how it goes. Maia-chan prepared breakfast like she always did, humming to
そっ
herself.
ちこそ私はいい加減やめなさいっていつも言ってる。
嫌よ。だって私、お兄ちゃんのそばにいないと死んじゃうんだもの。
That's essentially what happened, right? In their eyes, you died. Because you weren't on Oni-chan's side anymore. He left that forest and you didn't, so you died. I wonder if that's a purposeful joke towards that. Alright, those words caused my head to hurt for a moment. I feel like that has to be a reference. But only for a moment I soon sighed again.
まったくこれじゃトールちゃんがどうして家を出たのかわからなくなっちゃうじゃない。
In fact, if anything, things had got more questionable now that their parents couldn't see them. Is this supposed to be like a timeline where we moved out but we're still with our sister? What about me? Having finished changing, Toru-chan came out of the bathroom, stifling a
ど
yawn.
うもこうもなんでいつもマイヤちゃんが布団に入ってきてるのに気づかないのよ。
I don't notice that I don't notice. After all, it's when I'm asleep. Toru and Maia had always slept poorly, so they got tired more often than your average person. They both were often half asleep. Toru-chan often said that he didn't notice when Maia-chan got into his bed because he was so tired. Can't help it. I sleep well when Maia's next to me, and she smells good too. Ow. I was close by, so I chopped his shin with my hand. I aimed for the painful bony part that my martial arts teacher had shown me.
変態シスコンエッチ。
さきちゃんってば、焼いてるの？
心配なんです。いつトールちゃんがマイヤちゃんに手出しするかと思うと。
大丈夫よ、さきちゃん。そうなっても、私は構わないから。
Don't worry, if he did that, I'd be fine with it.
だから心配なの。
Yeah, well, I think it'll be okay. After all, Maya and I are siblings. Acting way calmer than he should in a situation like this, Toru-chan sat down in his usual seat and flipped through some channels on the TV. He rubbed at the spot on his leg that I hit. Seeing his slightly tired-looking face made me feel stupid for getting irritated. Giggling, Maia-chan started placing breakfast on the table.
それに、私が朝来なくなったら、お兄ちゃんってばきちんとご飯食べられなくなっちゃうわよ。
I wouldn't want that.
だとしてもなんでご飯を作りに来るのにいちいちトールちゃんの布団に潜り込む必要があるのか聞きたいわね。
お兄ちゃんと一緒の布団ってとても気持ちいいのよ。それに毎朝早起きするのって疲れちゃうんだもの。さきちゃんが起こしに来るまでもう一眠りしてもいいじゃない。
じゃあ時々こっそりキスマークつけたりしてるのはなんで？
Hey, yo. Toru-chan was oblivious, so he seemingly hadn't noticed that there's sometimes hickeys on his neck. I hadn't put them there, so it could only be one other person.
なんとなく
Oh, is that why I sometimes get attacked by Tetsuya for no reason?
トールちゃん本当に今まで気づいてなかったの？
大好きなお兄ちゃんだもの。変な女が寄ってきたら困るでしょ。
Sounds like an obsessed little sister for sure. Foo-foo, Maia chuckled
それ
unconcerned.
にさきちゃんはお兄ちゃんにキスマークをつけてるのが誰だか分かってるんだし。
だから何なのかしら？
Toru-chan tilted his head with a dumb look still on his
言ってい
face.
いの？
私がトールちゃんのことを好きなのなんて隠してないからいいわよ。
Saki, I already told him I loved him a long time ago. We had been on dates and held hands and locked arms. We hadn't kissed yet, though. Those dates always involved 3 people. Maia-chan would hold his other hand and lock arms with him. Maybe they'd even kissed. Must have shown on my face I was thinking this because Maia-chan looked at me and giggled. I wonder if this is why Saki's always been open to the idea of, like, kind of sharing Toru, long as, like, Toru, like, you know, gave her attention too. Just because she kind of always has shared him in a way. They've always been kind of competing for Toru's love. This is really interesting that we're getting to kind of look at this, because I think this is probably how it was before Maia disappeared.
まだダメ。お兄ちゃんは私のものだもの。さきちゃんにはあげないわ。
そのうちきちんと奪い取ってあげるから。
Yeah, why isn't anyone asking my opinion? Toru-chan gave us a troubled look as he munched on the breakfast Maia-chan had made. Couldn't help but think that he was cute, even though he was 2 years older than me and a boy. But his sister next to him, who was the same age as me, gave a confident
だってね
smile.
お兄ちゃんが私とさきちゃん以外のものになれるとでも思ってるの？
Hey, I belong to myself, you
ふ
know?
んまだ家にいた頃マイヤちゃんにくっつかれてお兄ちゃん大変ですってぼやいてたのは誰だっけ？
That's why I started living
そ
alone.
れで毎朝ベッドの中でイチャイチャしてたら意味がないわよね。
I chastised Toru-chan, who made a troubled face. I was probably wrong to think that was actually
大
cute.
丈夫よ。どんなことがあっても私からお兄ちゃんを襲うようなことはしないから。いたずらはするけど。
I think this dialogue's great, so sorry, my head's kind of in the way. I won't attack Oni-chan, I'll torment him, though. I think this is great, because if we use this as a context of this is a dream, I think she's still telling the truth. She doesn't really ever attack him outright, but she does torment him a lot. Like, if you stop doing that
お
too.
兄ちゃんにきちんと恋人ができたらその相手に悪いからやめてあげるわ。
You say that, but I still feel like you caused trouble after you got in relationships. Maia-chan smiled happily, but to me it looked like the smile of an incredibly beautiful but poisonous flower. Maia-chan once said something similar. She said that my smile was like a beautiful blade that would cut you if you touched it. How rude.
そういえば最近お兄ちゃんってば部活の先輩が綺麗だって言ってたわよね。
Eh? No? Oh, you mean Ludwig senpai. Ears perked up at that
もし
name.
かしてその先輩のことが好きなのかしら。
No, it's not love. She is serious and kind and caring.
肌白いし美人だし胸大きいものね。
うん顔立ちは結構好みだとしても他の2つは私とさきちゃんじゃ勝てないわね。
Can't win against the other two. We talking about boobs? Hey, wait, why is this conversation going all of a
どう
sudden?
するさきちゃん。お兄ちゃんが胸が大きくないとダメだったら。
Which is funny to me. I still think she has rather big ones.
別にこのままのペースなら私は平均以上になると思うもの。
I was a little proud of it, although it felt more like a tie since I couldn't win against Maia-chan in other aspects. Even amongst my classmates, breasts were on the large side and I was still growing. Then again, I didn't know if I'd be able to win against someone who was mixed like Ludwig senpai. Hey, I don't judge girls just by their breasts.
でも胸も見てるわよね。
Yeah, all guys look
さ
at
き
them.
ちゃんの胸が大きくなってから結構気にしてるように見えるんだけど。
Toru-chan let a tired groan. God, why did my sister and childhood friend end up like
そ
this?
んなのお兄ちゃんがはっきりさせないからに決まってるじゃない。
Okay, she has a point. You are rather indecisive. In response to those merciless words from his younger sister, Toru-chan looked away. And Maia-chan wasn't the type to leave it at that. She leaned in towards Toru-chan and looked up at him from right beside him.
小さい子供じゃないんだし、したいこととかどうすればいいのかとか分かってるんでしょ?
Hey Maya. Sipped on my tea and made no effort to stop her. It'd be best if Toru thought of us as girls a little bit more. If Maya-chan was the one who did it, then I wouldn't have to get my hands dirty.
もしかして女の子から押し倒してくれるのを待ってるの? それならそんな機会永遠に来ないわよ。
I don't know, I think that's every guy's fantasy to like have a girl kind of initiate things because they're so used to being told like, oh, if you as a guy like try to make the first move and like she's not into it, then you're just some kind of pervert harasser, you know? Whereas like if a girl does it to a guy, like, oh, it's never harassment, right? Because obviously the guy wanted it. I think there's this kind of weird stereotype about that. So it's kind of like guys have it built into them, like, okay, I don't want to like sexually harass somebody, so I'm gonna wait for the girl to be the one to make the first move. I don't know, that's just my opinion as a guy. I don't know if you guys think the same way. Not that unrealistic.
そう? だったらその気になれば手近にいるところを押し倒しちゃえばいいじゃない。
Not really rude, or it's not nice. It is rude to push somebody down. I was about to say the opposite of what I meant. She was right, and when that time came, all I had to do was act a little bashfully and accept it. When Toru-chan noticed what I was thinking behind my
そ
expression.
れとも押し倒せないくらい遠いところに気になる相手でもいるの? いるの?
Wait, you're a girl, so I don't think you should talk about that stuff in front of a guy.
何が困るのかしら。私もサキちゃんも別に困らないけど。
Oh yeah, I'm sure you don't. I sipped my tea and remained silent. I, of course, was talking about this sort of thing because of where we were and who was
そ
present.
れともお兄ちゃんは私たちのこと好きじゃないの?
Maya-chan stared at Toru-chan with teary-looking eyes. That wasn't fair. If she did the same thing to me, then I was sure I wouldn't be able to refuse her, even if we were the same sex.
こらこら、マイヤちゃんは実の妹でしょうが。
大丈夫。それでも私、お兄ちゃんを満足させる自信があ
Hey,
るよ。
yo. Don't worry, I'm still confident I can satisfy him. Kind of a perverted sister. Because of how quick she was to say things like this, it was always dangerous to leave them alone. No, see...
私もマイヤちゃんとなら3人一緒でもいいけど。
Well, it'd be fine to butt in just enough to get them to notice me. If I just leave them be for too long, then one day I might show up the morning to find out they've crossed the line in their relationship. The three of us... Toru-chan looked at me with a troubled expression.
3人で一緒に住むとしても、どう見ても恋人は私の方じゃない？マイヤちゃんは妹だもの。
そうね。別に他の人にどう見られても構わないし、私もいいわよ。
I kind of wonder if this is what would have happened. So she's saying I don't mind how it looks to other people, I'd be okay with that too. Like, I wonder if that's where this would have gone if Maia was still around. Like, he would have been dating Saki, you know, in a relationship, but he still would have been really close to his sister, who he was obviously a little bit more closer than brothers and sisters usually are. I wonder if they would have just had this weird, like, pseudo relationship. What is it when, like, 3 people are in a relationship? I don't even know. I wondered how giggling looked to Toru-chan. Well, we almost certainly looked like laughing demons to him. Ah, jeez, you two, give it a rest. I'm going. Toru-chan gulped down the rest of his breakfast, grabbed his bag, and left the apartment as if running away.
先に行くなんて言ってたけど、きちんと待ってるくせに。
お人よしなのよ。あと、私たちが3人でいいって言うと、ほっとするのよね。
Oh, why am I playing this? Oh. Probably wasn't for sexual
本
reasons.
当にそれでもいい
That's the most interesting part, is it's not really for sexual reasons. I think he's genuinely okay with him being kind of in a relationship with 2 girls. I don't know. That's just how I think it is. But Maya-chan and I said we were fine with it, even in a sexual sense. And I think he is okay too. I think he wants to be with both of them. I think he doesn't want to choose just one.
そうね。きっとそれはずっと幸せでしょうね。
I think it would be a situation where, like, with Michiru, he didn't want, or the protagonist didn't want to, like, well, okay, well, Mitru didn't want to technically be a lover because she wanted to be a sister first. I wonder if that's what would happen with Maya. Maya would be a sister first. Why do all these games act like that? Why is the sister character always got to be so prominent? It's cold outside, but Toru-chan would be waiting anyways. He would just look a little angry, say let's go, and start walking. I'd be on his left and Maya-chan would be on his right. We'd grab his arms. We'd go to school gazing at Toru-chan's face as he blushed. It'd be the norm for us, and the three of us would always be together.
それはきっと楽しくてしょうがないんでしょうね。
さきちゃん
Hold up.
それはきっと
Hold up, I need to go back
楽
a
しくて
little bit
しょ
more.
うがないんでしょう。本当に
Okay, sorry, I totally imagined something.
それは
I thought the color like changed a little
幸
bit.
せでしょうね
Okay.
それは
さきちゃん
Lots of fun, but I...
だけどそれは叶わないものなのよね。
Okay, so she's realizing the dream is, not real. I pulled out a pistol out of my bag and aimed it at my... Sorry, that just would sound so funny out of context. Like, I just pulled the pistol out. It was this poor, innocent-looking schoolgirl that if you had no idea who she was... I ignored the surprised look at Maya-chan's face. I aimed at the dream, at that dream, and pulled the trigger. I still think this is really cool, by the way, because you can make out each individual like square, like where it was on the screen. I think it's so cool. Senior of Nissan's apartment collapsed like a balloon bursting from the inside, and then we were in that forest again. It was a night that I'd seen once before. I was no longer wearing my uniform. Instead, I had returned to my dream clothes. Maya-chan too had returned to her usual dress rather than a matching uniform.
楽しい、いい夢だったわ。ありがとう。
That was a dream of a world that Maya-chan had lived, one where I wasn't like myself. One where Toru-chan and Maya were just like the way they were before everything went wrong, just bigger versions of their former selves.
どういたしまして。楽しんでくれたならとても嬉しいわ。
I love the way she framed that, though. They were bigger versions of their former selves. Like, they just looked older, but they were, like, still their young version. I think that's really cool. Welcome, happy you enjoyed it. Maya-chan grabbed the hems of her dress and gave an elegant
だ
curtsy.
けどどうして望めばあのままあの夢の中にいることができたのに。
Maya-chan didn't seem the least bit disturbed to have a gun pointed at her. Maybe she thought I wouldn't be able to pull the trigger, maybe she would be fine even if I did. I do wonder, though. So I said earlier, I think she uses the gun to get out of her problems. She just shoots everything she doesn't like. I wonder if she's going to be able to keep doing that, or if she's going to be put in a situation where she needs to face her problem and not just shoot her way out. I shook away those weak thoughts.
夢だとしても、それがわからなければ、きっとそこが現実になるのよね。
ええ、あの世界だとさすがにさきちゃんの思うがまま望むがままってわけにはいかないと思うけれど。
I don't know about you guys personally. When I'm in a dream, it definitely feels like reality to me. But at the same time, as I'm viewing it, it's so blurry, so fuzzy that like when I think back to those dreams, I can clearly differentiate them from memories. Like they're not reality to me. There's always this level of uncanniness that you can tell, like, okay, you know, this is a dream, but like and it feels kind of like reality, like, because it feels real in the moment. I kind of lose track of my own consciousness outside of the dream because, you know, I'm sleeping, right? But I can always tell, like, hey, this feels real, but like it isn't real. I wonder, like, if it feels like that to them at all.
だからこそ現実と同じままでいられる。できることはできるし、できないことはできないわ。
Aichan reached for me, but I stopped her by pointing the gun at her. I saw her lower her arm, but I didn't let my guard down.
だとしてもダメね。ずっと一緒にいて、マヤちゃんがいなくならなかったとして。それなら、あの夢みたいなのもよかった。
It'd be a normal but happy dream. I still remember the feelings I had at the time I'd spent with the two of them.
楽しかった。きっと、あれからも楽しいんでしょうね。兄さんは推しが弱くて、 ああやって私とマイヤちゃんに遊ばれて、それも楽しくて。
I didn't think Nissan would really make a move until I pushed him down myself. When I saw his face then, it still made me laugh, but I couldn't wait any longer. And
も
so...
う兄さんは、トールちゃんは私のものなの。
Hell yeah. I'm glad she said that. Like, she's correcting herself. Like, he's not my brother. He's Toru-chan. I could shoot her at any time. Maia-chan must have realized that because her expression got a little
掛
serious.
け合う必要はないでしょ。先に押し倒したのは私なんだもの。
You're the only one that's still around to push him down, though.
だから私には分けてくれないのかしら。
I instinctively gritted my teeth.
ずっとトールちゃんの心を持っていたのはマイヤちゃんでしょ。いなくなってもトールちゃんを縛り付けて、そのまま夢の世界に連れて行っちゃいそうになって、マイヤちゃんさえきちんとお別れしてくれれば、それなら私はトールちゃんの妹にならないで済んだのに。
I knew I was just taking out my anger on her. I don't know, the way she's framing this almost makes it seem like Maia was somebody who couldn't let Toru go, which is very interesting. We haven't really gotten into Maia necessarily having any problems, right? Like, she's the victim, right?
それでもやっと妹じゃなくて私を見てくれるようになった、戻ったのに。なのにトールちゃんがマイヤちゃんはあの森で別れたって言ってるのに、どうしてまだ出てくるの？
If Maia-chan had always been there, I could have stayed, Saki. Without Maia-chan, if I didn't become his sister, then Toru-chan's heart would break. Then what if she were somewhere between existing and non-existing, between worry and hope?
きちんと私を私として見てほしいの。もうマイヤちゃんばかり見てほしくないのよ。
Aiming the gun with both hands, but the muzzle was shaking and couldn't aim well.
サキちゃんってばずいぶん素直になっちゃって、そんなにお兄ちゃんが欲しい？
当たり前でしょ。やっと私の方をまた見てくれるようになったんだから。
だから邪魔な私は消したい。そうすればお兄ちゃんは自分だけを見てくれるからと。
Maia giggled.
私がずっと一緒だったとしても、もしかしたら同じようにされてたのかしら。
大丈夫よ。だってマイヤちゃんは本当はもういないんだもの。
That's right, if we had been together the whole time, then maybe the three of us would have chosen to be together. Maybe I would have accepted that. But
そろそろ独り占めしてもいいじゃない。もう妹じゃなくてもいいんだから。ずっと言いたかったの。気になってたのよ。
even I couldn't simply point something like this at a close friend just because of relationship
あな
issues.
た誰なの？
Maia-chan's calm smile
全部
froze.
が全部偽物だとは言わない。きっと私やトールちゃんの思っているマイヤちゃんなんだって。
The form of her in our dreams. It wasn't that she had come back to life. The Maia-chan who continued to live within us was here. It would be fine if that's all she
違う。
was.
私と兄さんの知ってるマイヤちゃんだけじゃない。
Maia-chan really was a troublemaker. She was arrogant and hopelessly contrarian. Even towards adults, she acted the same way. She was smart, so she even seemed to enjoy it when people thought she was creepy, but the number of people who approached her soon dwindled. But Toru-chan and I still loved her. Maia-chan surely loved us too.
困った子だったけれど、だけどマイヤちゃんのことをいつもすごいと思ってた。私尊敬してた。
She pulled pranks and caused trouble for us and teased Toru-chan, but she always did things at her own pace and she was elusive, but
人に悪夢を見せたり、弱みにつけ込んだり、夢に落とそうとしたり。 大事にしてるものを踏みにじったりさらけ出させたり、そんなことをするあなたは誰なの？
It wasn't like Maya-chan to touch on people's dignity lightly. I had wondered about that from the beginning. She looked just like Maya-chan and also talked like her, so it almost made you think it actually was her. But the things she was doing were not like Maya-chan. They were creepy and made me feel uneasy.
やっぱり気づかれちゃうか。そうよね。一番のお友達だものね。
Wow, but like this whole conversation's really gone in a way I didn't expect whatsoever. Because I've always speculated that Maya isn't the bad guy here, and I feel like Saki's kind of saying that she isn't. Like this is a version made to look like her, or maybe this is a different version of her. Like this isn't her acting how she normally does. Like it's really similar but different. She smiled a lonely yet relieved-looking
マヤ
smile.
ちゃん。
さてと、だったらどうするの？この偽物混じりの私を、さきちゃんは。
最初に言ったわ。お別れをしに来たの。
Deep in a dark forest, a forest I knew nothing about, where Maya-chan was now sleeping, I pointed my gun. Goodbye. The word stuck in my throat. That word stuck in my throat wouldn't come
お
out.
別れできるのかしら？きちんとしてくれるの？
I can. Those words are also stuck in my throat. I aimed with trembling
いつなら
hands.
きちんと当てて。さきちゃんが私と本当にお別れしてくれるなら、私もきっとここから消えることができるから。
マヤちゃん。
She put her hands near her chest. Her smile was just like the Maya-chan I remembered. If I shot her, I'd never see her again. But even so,
できる？さきちゃん。
I bit my lip desperately, trying to steady my shaking hands, and pulled the trigger.
兄さん、兄さん、起きなさいってば。もうすぐ昼休み終わっちゃうわよ。
She didn't say goodbye though. She said that she could say goodbye. She never said goodbye there though. She said goodbye here, but that was like in her own thoughts. I don't think she said it out loud. Unless they're okay with it just having not been said out loud. Oh, we're out of the dream? Someone was shaking me. I opened my eyes. I was in a warm room that smelled of coffee. Sat up and looked around. It was a science preparation room. Huh?
あれじゃないわよ。何ぼーっとしてるの？
Saki looked on at me with an annoyed look on her face.
もう顔に机の跡なんてつけてみっともないんだから。
Saki reached out and pulled my cheek. I noticed that Club Prez was grinning at us while Hirosaka just had an annoyed look on her face. Wait a second, it's embarrassing. Stop. Huh? Something felt
どうしたの
strange.
トール？頭痛いの？
No, but on the table of Saki's bento, which should have been prepared at the Hosono house we'd been eating a short while ago, there was just a little bit of coffee left in my cup, and it was no longer steaming, and Club Prez had a science magazine in her hands. Hirosaka had started to clean up and was preparing to return to her classroom. Something missing. How did it take me so long to notice? We're not in a dream. Saki stiffened for a moment at those words.
ねえ、兄さん。今ここがどこだかわかる？
In the science preparation room at our school, is this reality? When I searched my face, I touched the frame of my glasses. It wasn't cold, probably because I'd been in this warm room.
ねえ、現実よ。まったく夢見が悪いくせにこんなところでうたた寝なんてするから。
Something felt off. There were no strangely colored plants anywhere. We were in a completely normal human world. Still stiff amidst my confusion, Saki wrapped her arms around my neck and hugged me. I could smell the sweet fragrance of her
ほ
shampoo.
ら、私はここにいるから。私がいるところが現実でしょ？
Not quite, but sure. Maya
ない
is...
わ。兄さんだってわかってるでしょ？
Saki stiffened for a moment when I said Maya's name. What's going on? What kind of dream had I been having? How much of it was a dream?
先輩、大丈夫ですか？
Hirosaka, far from teasing Saki and me for hugging, actually sounded worried. Couldn't say that I was. Was I really in reality right now? If so, when did I enter the dream world? How much of it was a dream? I was sleeping just now,
い
wasn't I?
つって気づいたらうたた寝してたのよ。まったく昨日の夜はさきちゃんと何してたんだか。
I didn't do anything. Saki didn't even stay over.
そうなの？ええ、朝ハスノさんと一緒に先輩を起こしに行きましたから。
Even though I answered myself, it felt wrong. That was today, not yesterday.
昨日は兄さんの部屋には行ってないけど、どうしたの？大丈夫？
Sorry, my brain isn't working right yet. Can I ask some more questions?
それはいいけど、何？そんなにリアルな夢でも見てたの？
Silently nodded. Yesterday, I guess it was a dream. I fell asleep in my own apartment. After school, I had run into town with Saki and missed a huge uproar. Saki had said that she had something to do and she didn't stay over my place after all. I woke up in the preparation room even though I fell asleep by myself in my apartment. If this was really reality, everything before then was a dream then. I fell asleep, so when did the dream start?
さあ、それは兄さんにしかわからないんじゃないかしら。
Lucky squeezed my hand
夢の
gently.
こときちんと覚えているんでしょ？だったらおかしなことがあった世界が夢なんじゃないかしら。
Strange things, huh? It really was a strange dream. Yesterday I came to school with Saki. Tetsuya and the others saw us and there was a big fuss over it. Then Saki and I were going out, so I got ambushed in class and interrogated.
トール、それ昨日じゃないわ。今日、ついさっきのことよ。
And today?
トールのクラスで哲也と朝日にしどろもどろになりながら説明してたじゃない。
Interesting.
うたた寝してる間にこれから今日起こりそうなことでも夢で見たんじゃないですか。
It was just like we went back earlier into the day. Maybe. Maybe it was like when you go back to sleep thinking you have to go to school and then you're on your way to school, you wake up and realize it was a dream. That might make sense. Nothing didn't feel right. Maybe I wasn't fully awake yet. I still had this languid listlessness that was akin to sleepiness.
ちょっと保健室で休んでくれば？
そうね。兄さん、そうする？
Yeah, I suppose. When I stood up, I staggered a little. Had I been sleeping that
ハスノ
soundly?
さん、先生には連絡しておきますね。片付けも私たちでやっておくから気にしないでいいわよ。
ありがとうございます。それじゃあ兄さん、行くわよ。
Oh, I can go by
そん
myself.
なフラフラで何言ってるの？
Saki pulled me by the hand and we left the preparation room. As I was leaving the room, I turned around and saw Club President Hirosaki giving me a resigned look. Was something off? But just thinking that made me dizzy. Maybe I gotten too used to seeing a dream.
兄さん、本当に大丈夫？
Once we were in the hallway, I saw that there was nothing like the commotion I remembered after lunch. Everything was really just like it usually was. I got some curious looks and Saki was holding my hand, but there was no sign of any weird teasing or venerable storm brewing. In fact, I even sensed some pity for me in their gazes since my help was usually so poor. Seems quiet.
そう？普段からこんなもんじゃないかしら。
This was normal, wasn't it? I thought that I immediately made my way to the infirmary. Something's off, he says. I wonder what it is. I was a regular here, so they wouldn't give me much trouble if I asked to rest for a while. Well, I think we're gonna end it here. I made this a little bit of a longer episode. I've actually been really interested in what's going on. This Saki route has been pretty good so far. A lot of talking. I mean, obviously, we've had a few bigger moments. They haven't had like a CG or anything, so I feel like they're really saving up for something ahead. I'm looking forward to finding out what that is. But I wonder if I wonder if Maia's really gone, if Saki really got rid of Maia, because she didn't quite say goodbye. She just pulled the trigger, but she didn't really, like, commit to it all the way. She was afraid. So I have a feeling there's something more to that. So we'll find out about that soon, I'm sure. But, really good so far. Like, obviously, like, lots of talking, not too much action, but I've been trying to get into it, and, pretty nice so far. I really like that whole conversation between Saki and Maia. I like the whole part where she just kind of went off and did her own thing. I like when the characters do that. Rather than Toru. I don't need to see Toru's perspective all the time because he's such a wimp. Anyways, we're going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to continue Saki's route in the next episode. So, I'll see you guys then.